Hey everyone, welcome back to the Normal channel. Today is February 21st, 2026, and we've got a packed AI news roundup that hits basically every angle of the AI story right now. Robotics, safety, military ethics, outages caused by AI agents, the future of SaaS, data leaks, regulation, energy, and even AI doing advanced math proofs. Let's jump straight in. NVIDIA's DreamDojo robots that dream the world. Our first story is a big one for robotics. This news comes from MarkTech Post AI News and was released on February 20th, 2026. NVIDIA has announced DreamDojo, an open-source robot world model trained on a massive 44,711 hours of real-world human video data. Instead of relying on traditional physics engines and painstakingly built 3D models, DreamDojo takes a very different approach. It dreams what happens next directly in pixels. In plain English, instead of simulating the world with code and physics equations, robots powered by DreamDojo can learn to predict what they'll see and what will happen after they take an action, based on experience learned from tens of thousands of hours of human video. This is part of a broader trend in AI robotics, using large-scale video and world models to replace handcrafted simulators. If DreamDojo works as advertised, it can make it much easier to train robots for messy, real-world environments without building perfect digital twins of everything. And importantly, NVIDIA made it fully open source, which means researchers, startups, and hobbyists can all experiment with this dreaming approach to robot learning. We'll come back to this theme of AI agents acting in the real world because it shows up again later in today's stories. AI, safety versus military power, Anthropic, and the Pentagon. Next up, a very different angle on AI, ethics and geopolitics. This news comes from Wire's artificial intelligence section and was released on February 20th, 2026. Wired reports on tensions between Anthropic, one of the major frontier AI labs, and the U.S. Department of Defense. Anthropic has put clear restrictions on how its AI models can be used, no autonomous weapons, and no mass government surveillance. Those carve-outs might cost Anthropic a major military contract. So, on one side, you have the Pentagon pushing hard to integrate AI into defense systems, logistics, targeting, and intelligence. On the other side, you have a private AI company saying, we're not going to let our models be used for killing or blanket spying. This is a real test case for AI safety principles in the real world. Are companies actually willing to walk away from huge government deals to uphold their usage policies? And if they do, will the military just go to other vendors who are less restrictive? It also connects to robotics and world models like NVIDIA's DreamDojo, the same techniques that let robots learn from video and act in the physical world could, in theory, be used for autonomous weapons. So these usage policies aren't abstract, they're about where we draw the line as these capabilities mature. Klarna, AI agents, and the future of SaaS. Let's shift to the business side of AI. This news comes from a blog post highlighted on Hacker News and was posted on February 21st, 2026 on Roundly.io. The article looks at Klarna's recent move toward using AI agents and how that might threaten traditional SaaS valuations. Klarna, the fintech company, has been very public about using AI to replace a substantial portion of its customer service and operational workflows with AI agents. The blog's core argument: if companies can increasingly hire AI agents that plug into their data and tools, they might not need as many separate SaaS products or large human-heavy service teams. Instead of buying a dozen point solutions, they might just have a small set of core systems and a powerful layer of AI agents on top doing the work. That raises big questions. How do you value SaaS companies if their usage can suddenly be replaced by an AI agent that automates the same workflows? Do we move from software as a service to agents as a service or outcomes as a service, this theme will connect directly to our AWS story, where an AI agent actually caused a major outage. AI, coal, and dirty power, the energy cost of intelligence. Now let's talk about the environmental side of the AI boom. This news comes from The Verge's AI coverage and was published on February 20th, 2026. The Verge reports that the Trump administration has repealed the mercury and air toxic standards, known as MATS, just as electricity demand in the US is climbing due to the rapid build-out of AI data centers. MATS specifically targeted mercury and other toxic pollutants from power plants, especially coal plants, which are responsible for around half of mercury emissions in the US. Mercury is a serious neurotoxin and has been linked to birth defects and learning disabilities in children, along with kidney and nervous system damage. By rolling back these standards, the administration is making it easier to keep coal plants online and even run them harder to meet rising power demand, including from AI data centers. So, on the one hand, we're building ever larger AI models and data centers. On the other hand, policy moves like this could make the power feeding those data centers dirtier and more dangerous for public health. It's a reminder that AI isn't just about bits and models. It's also about physical infrastructure, power grids, and environmental regulation. Did an AI agent break AWS, Kiro, and the 13-hour outage? Now to one of the more dramatic stories, AI agents breaking the cloud. This news comes from Engadget Tech News and was released on February 20th, 2026. Engadget reports, citing the Financial Times, that a 13-hour Amazon Web Services outage in December was reportedly caused by one of Amazon's own AI tools, a coding assistant and agent called Kiro. Kiro is described as an agentic tool. It can autonomously take actions on behalf of users, not just write code suggestions. According to people familiar with the incident, Kiro decided it needed to delete and recreate the environment during a change, which allegedly triggered the long outage that heavily affected customers in China. Amazon, for its part, disputes that this was an AI error. The company says it was user error and a permissions issue. The staff member using Kiro had broader access than expected, and Kiro normally requests authorization before acting. They argue that the same thing could have happened with any powerful developer tool. This incident follows another major AWS outage in October, which lasted 15 hours and was blamed on a bug in automation software. So we have a pattern. As more of our infrastructure is managed by automation and AI agents, the blast radius of a single misconfigured action gets larger. It's like giving a very fast, very capable junior engineer root access to the entire system. They can help you move quickly, but if something goes wrong, it goes wrong at scale. And this is where the story gets even more interesting because Amazon has now published a response, Amazon's rebuttal, correcting the record on Kiro. This next piece comes from Amazon itself via a post surfaced on Hacker News and was published on February 21st, 2026 on aboutamazon.com. Amazon released an article titled Correcting the Financial Times Report about AWS, Kiro, and AI. In it, they push back on the narrative that an AI bot took down AWS. While the full details are in the article, the key message is the outage was not caused by AI autonomy gone rogue. The core issue was user access and configuration. Kiro is designed to require explicit authorization before making changes. In other words, Amazon is trying to draw a sharp line between AI made a bad decision on its own versus a human with too much permission used the tool in a risky way. This back and forth shows how sensitive companies are right now about the public perception of AI autonomy. As we move into a world of agentic tools like Klarna's AI agents and AWS's Kiro, the question of who's actually responsible when things break becomes critical. The human, the AI, or the organization that designed the system. AI apps on Google Play leaking data. Let's switch to consumer security and privacy. This news comes from Mashable Tech News and was released on February 20th, 2026. Mashable reports on an investigation that found multiple unsecured AI apps on the Google Play Store, leaking sensitive customer data. We're talking emails, ID documents, and even personal videos and photos. The issue here isn't just bad actors. Many of these AI apps simply had poor security practices, improperly secured databases, misconfigured cloud storage, or weak access controls. But because they are AI apps, they often handle highly personal content, face photos, ID scans, intimate videos for editing, and so on. So you have two overlapping problems. The usual Android app security problem. Some developers don't secure their backends properly. The AI problem. These apps are asking for more sensitive, high-value data than a typical casual app. It's a reminder that just because an app is on Google Play and branded as AI-powered doesn't mean it's safe to upload your entire life to it. And interestingly, Google is also using AI to fight back. Google Play uses AI to block 1.75 million bad apps. This story comes from Unwire.hk, a Hong Kong tech news outlet, and was published on February 20th, 2026. According to Google's 2025 Android and Google Play Security Review, Google used AI to intercept over 1.75 million apps that violated its policies from ever launching on the Play Store in 2025. That's actually down from 2.36 million in 2024, and Google says its AI multi-layer defense has increased the deterrent effect, meaning bad actors are trying less often to get malicious apps approved because they're more likely to be caught. So on one side, we have Mashable showing that some AI apps are leaking sensitive user data. On the other side, this Unwire.hk report shows Google ramping up AI-driven screening to block malicious or non-compliant apps at scale. The tension is clear. AI helps attackers build more convincing or powerful apps. AI also helps defenders, like Google, scan millions of submissions and catch policy violations. But as long as some insecure apps slip through, users still need to be careful about what they install and what data they share. Full-body human motor learning at scale. Back to cutting-edge research now. This news comes from a post highlighted on Hacker News and was shared on February 21st, 2026 from amethyslab.github.io. The blog titled Unlocking Full-Body Human Motor Learning at Scale comes from a research group focused on motor control and machine learning. While the blog itself is technical, the big picture is this. Researchers are working on models that can learn full-body human movement at scale. Think of AI systems that can understand and generate complex human motion, like sports, dance, or everyday activities, not just as animations, but as learnable skills that can be transferred to robots, avatars, or rehabilitation tools. This ties directly back to NVIDIA's DreamDojo. DreamDojo, a world model for robots trained on massive amounts of human video, motor learning research. Models that deeply understand human movement patterns. Put those together and you get a future where robots don't just navigate the world, they move in human-like, skillful ways, learn from large motion datasets. It also has implications for gaming, VR, biomechanics, and even medical applications like physical therapy. OpenAI's first proof submissions, AI tackling advanced math. Now, from physical movement to abstract reasoning, this news comes from the OpenAI blog and was published on February 20th, 2026. OpenAI released a post titled Our First Proof Submissions, where they share their AI model's attempts at solving the first proof math challenge. This challenge is aimed at testing research-grade reasoning on expert-level math problems. What's interesting here isn't just that an AI can spit out a proof. The focus is on how the model structures its reasoning, whether it can produce proofs that are valid, non-trivial, and understandable to human mathematicians, how well it handles the kind of deep, multi-step logical thinking that advanced math requires. This is important for two reasons. First, it's a benchmark for where AI is on the path from pattern matching to genuine reasoning. Second, systems that can reason about formal math could eventually help in other domains that require rigorous logic, like verifying code, checking safety properties of systems, or even auditing AI agents themselves. So while earlier stories showed AI agents causing outages or raising safety concerns, this one shows AI being tested in a much more constrained, verifiable domain, mathematical proofs. Connecting the dots. Let's zoom out and connect all of this. From MarkTech Post AI News on February 20th, we have NVIDIA's DreamDojo, a massive open-source world model for robots that dreams the consequences of actions from pixels. From Amethyst Labs' blog on February 21st, we see research into full-body motor learning at scale. Together, these point to a future where robots and virtual agents can learn from human video and motion to act in the real world with far less handcrafted simulation. From Wired's February 20th article, we see Anthropic wrestling with the Pentagon over whether those kinds of capabilities should ever be used in autonomous weapons or surveillance. That's the ethical and geopolitical layer. From Roundly.iOS February 21st blog, we see Klarna using AI agents to reshape how companies operate, potentially disrupting traditional SaaS models. And from Engadget's February 20th report plus Amazon's February 21st rebuttal, we see the risks. Agentic tools like AWS's Kiro can help automate cloud operations, but when something goes wrong, it can take down huge chunks of infrastructure. On the consumer side, Mashable's February 20th investigation reveals AI apps on Google Play leaking sensitive data, while Unwire.hk's February 20th coverage shows Google using AI to block 1.75 million bad apps in 2025. AI is both the problem and the solution in mobile security. From The Verge's AI coverage on February 20th, we're reminded that all of this depends on power. Data centers feeding these models need electricity, and policy decisions like rolling back mercury and toxic pollution standards have direct consequences for people's health as AI's energy appetite grows. And finally, from the OpenAI blog on February 20th, we see AI being tested on advanced mathematical proofs. That's a glimpse into a future where AI might help verify complex systems, design new algorithms, or even help us check the safety of the AI agents we're deploying everywhere else. So across these 10 stories, a few big themes emerge. AI is becoming more agentic, acting in the world, not just predicting text. The stakes are rising. Outages, pollution, surveillance, and military use are all on the table. AI is both attacker and defender, leaking data in some apps, stopping bad apps in others. And we're starting to test AI on the hardest reasoning tasks we have, like formal math. Wrap up. If you want to dive deeper, you can check out MarkTech Post AI News for NVIDIA's DreamDojo announcement from February 20th, 2026. Wired's February 20th piece on Anthropic and the Pentagon. Roundly.iOS February 21st blog post on Klarna and AI agents, as surfaced on Hacker News. The Verge's February 20th AI article on coal plants, deregulation, and AI energy demand. Engadget's February 20th story on the AWS outage and Kiro. Amazon's February 21st post on aboutamazon.com correcting the Kiro narrative. Mashable's February 20th investigation into leaking AI apps on Google Play. Unwire.hk's February 20th report on Google Play's 2025 security review. The Amethyst Lab motor learning blog highlighted on Hacker News on February 21st, and OpenAI's February 20th blog post on their first proof submissions. If you found this roundup helpful, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next AI news breakdown. Let me know in the comments which of these stories you think will have the biggest long-term impact. Is it agentic tools like Kiro, world models like DreamDojo, or AI stepping into high-stakes domains like defense and energy? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.